Hi there. So during my March break, I went on a vacation at Cairns and I was staying with the Esplanade. And it was pretty interesting because I noticed that there's a trend now for even hotels to go green. And it's interesting because they have one of these signs for doorknobs that say, do not clean my room today because I'm conserving the environment and I'm going green. They also have another sign that's just for partial service, which is pretty cool because you still get your room cleaned, but your carbon footprint wouldn't be as high as it would if you had a full cleaning service. So because of that, I decided to do a vlog on the environmental impact of the hospitality industry. As we all know, buildings make up a big proportion of a city's GHG emissions, and obviously for hotels they can play a major part in making a difference here, especially within this sector because they are property-based and that's their core operations. One of the reasons for hotels to change their ways is because their customers want them to be greener. So TripAdvisor surveyed over 3,000 travelers, and what they found is that 67% of them will want to stay at an eco-friendly lodging environment, and 63% of them would pay more for that. According to research conducted by Gosling and other researchers, they found that the average energy consumption per bed per night is about 130 megajoules, and they've also found that generally the hotels have higher energy consumption per visitor than local residents because they have more energy intensive facilities such as restaurants, bars, and pools. Another reason for these hotels to go green is because it's part of them being a good corporate citizen, and it's also a smart business move. So the current mayor of New York is Bill de Blasio, and he has formed a challenge called the New York Carbon Challenge. And what that is basically a partnership between the city and the private and institutional leaders to commit themselves to reduce their buildings' GHG emissions by 30% or more in the next 10 years. This commitment is huge because in New York, buildings make up 3/4 of a city's GHG emissions, and it is also part of the mayor's plan to reduce their city's GHG emissions by 80% by 2050. What's great is that 16 hotels have decided to join the plan, and it is projected to reduce the city's GHG emissions by an additional 32,000 metric tons, and it will also save the hotels about $25 million in terms of energy costs. There are so many ways for hotels to reduce their energy intensity, such as retrofitting their lights, maintaining proper building ventilation, using renewable energy resources, and so forth. A publication released by HVS, which is a global consulting hospitality firm, said that the energy consumption can be reduced by 10 to 20% or even greater through a technical review of plant operations and equipment and implementation of energy conservation measures. Additionally, hotels consume a lot of water. It is estimated by Cellen that 15,000 cubic meters of water would typically supply rural farmers for 3 years and urban families for 2 years, yet it only supplies luxury hotel guests for less than 2 months. Some of the ways they can cut their water consumption is by improving HVAC and plumbing system, promoting towel and linen reuse program, using recycled and rainwater for process and irrigation use, etc. And finally, hotels generate a lot of waste. A study that's been conducted by Budanowitz found that an average hotel produces an excess of 1 kg of waste per guest per night. Some of the things that hotels can do to reduce the environmental impact within this area is by building their new hotels with green materials or retrofitting their old buildings to make them more environmentally friendly, recycling all waste and materials, composting, etc. If these hotels adopt environmentally friendly practices in relation to water, waste, energy, etc., a big plus for them is that they do get a green certification, and that's going to help with their PR and their image, and customers, as I've mentioned earlier on, it's a trend for them to want to stay at environmentally friendly hotels, so they're definitely going to get a big surge in profits as well. Lastly, travelers can make a positive impact as well, and just by putting the Do Not Disturb sign, you would save 6,000 gallons of water. And what they could also do is stay at environmentally friendly hotels. In short, the hospitality and tourism industry definitely has a larger carbon footprint compared to the typical local resident. Thus, the hospitality industry and the travelers need to do as much as they can to minimize the environmental impact. And as we can see, there are so many ways that they can do so. And that's a wrap for this vlog. I hope they enjoyed it, and I'll see you the next time. Bye!